5:41. Okay, I think today we're gonna talk about. I got A minus on Escanor. I think I'm gonna re-roll that. Um, Today I'm gonna talk about Spy X Family, I guess. Blair, I've sounded like this like all week. I have a doctor's appointment in 3 hours. I'm surprised I still sound like this, honestly. Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought Sunday night I was gonna like wake up and feel great and go to work, but nope. Oh, cool, a neighbor dog. Dude, right when we start recording something, they let out their yappy dog and he just starts fucking snapping at the fucking. At the world? What the heck? Okay. Bro, I just hit record and they let their dog out and that's annoying. Okay, anyway, let me talk about Spy X Family. No, I just saw that in my recommended. Um, yeah, yeah, guys. I think Spy X Family has like the writing and like the musics and feelings to be a top show. But when you break it down, like the show is pretty tame, like and pretty like I would just say it's lame. That's the big thing that kept me from basically wanting to watch more. Like going into it, I was kind of cringing, right? I was like, I can't believe I'm about to watch this shit. I boot it up, and the first like minute while they're dumping you with the narrator, I'm like, this is a little lame, but whatever, I'll bear with it. Um, and basically they go on and on about like spies and what they are and blah blah blah. And I think it's like the show basically saying we're gonna flip on its head what it means to be a spy, but what they're actually doing is gutting what it means to be a spy in favor for family. Like I actually think the show would be better if it wasn't spy centric. I think if it had a different theme, it'd be better. But since it's spies and it's like conflicting like two big things with each other, instead of it being like a compare contrast thing or like the light and the darkness, it's more like a battle between its own themes and what you're left with since it focuses more on family to beat it over the head the main character and you is the show is primarily like and what I would expect going forward is it's supposed to take everything you know about a spy and rip it down in favor for family because right away the main character is already like kind of thrown out like his incognito and all this other stuff like he's like I failed as a spy and all this other shit in favor of being a dad. Earlier that episode though, he was literally throwing away his relationships in favor for a spy. So it's like it's almost like the child's life has changed his perspective on like relationships. Um, but he's still going through with the mission. So it's kind of like they have to do things to keep the story going. And I think if things actually, like, if there was no mom and all that other stuff, and this was like a one-off episode, it'd be better to kill off the dad and let the girl get away rather than he beats everybody in this thing, even though he sent out a signal and all this other stuff, and then the girl stays hidden. Like, it was kind of bad. Everything that happened in it, I could see coming too. So, like, it was like a lot of cliches. Yeah, it was. It was about as good as I thought it was gonna be. I thought it'd be more cringy, but I guess that cringy stuff comes more later. But overall, I was like sitting there rolling my eyes like half the time they try to do something. Like the only time I had like a smile was when he was talking to the Intel guy, which I guess I got spoiled on. That Intel guy definitely does some bad stuff later. Uh, but when he was talking to him about like child social services and child stuff, but there's no like repercussions because the main character is like constantly being like, "I'll just pick up another kid." So you don't really feel like there's any stakes for him losing the little girl ever. So him jeopardizing everything is kind of like out of left field. Like there isn't enough time between the two for him to be kind of like making these rash decisions. He has no reason to save the kid. And the mind reading thing, I guess it's gonna come later, but all it's really done for right now is set up that the girl was like an experiment. Which the way they set it up, it made it look like she was in like a fucking parking garage. Um, and for like comedic bits, but it doesn't explain how she can do like crossword puzzles and stuff. So they like make her out to be like this very intelligent person, and then right away they throw it out the window and go, the reason why she can like do this stuff is because she can read people's minds. But then how did she do the crossword puzzle? Like stuff like that. So it kind of feels like the show is just gonna tax on like anything that like kind of benefits the main characters. And when the dude gets kidnapped and they do the fake out, I was just like, oh no, he did the mask thing earlier in the episode. The goon is him. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it is. She's making it like a big deal that it's supposed to be a secret. I'm sure. I'm sure they're gonna throw in some things like, now that I trust my parents, I can tell them I've always been able to read minds or whatever. Well, all it does right now is make like a lot of confusing things happen. Like for as deducing as the spy is, I'm surprised he doesn't like off gate kind of realize that the kid is understanding what he's thinking and reacting to the things that he's thinking. Like he's really judgmental, like a little too fast. All right, that was two. So let's break it apart, right? So you get introduced to the main character, and I'm honestly already rooting for him. Right, he's choosing his career over relationships, and then all of a sudden, as soon as he quits his relationships and all this other shit to be a spy, uh, like a fucking sitcom, he's reading a newspaper and can deduce what the message in spy language or whatever. Right, that's what I mean by like they just make him dumb sometimes, and they just make him like stupid intelligent sometimes. And basically, it's a code, right? that says it's a code that basically says what his next mission is going to be, and it's of course about family and stuff. So it's kind of like, damn, here we go. You know what I mean? Cue the Seinfeld music. He of course does the embarrassing anime thing where he verbalizes his emotions in public, which is like not a very spy thing to do. And the shows they're kind of parroting that the girl's interested in, I'd rather be watching them, like the actual like spy stuff. Man, every time that dog like barks while I'm like talking when I have no music or anything on because I'm trying to record us beating this, it's pretty fucking annoying. I cannot believe I went live and the dog was let out. Anyway, so so after he does this whole newspaper thing, he goes to an orphanage, and of course the orphanage guy that's trying to pawn off the girl um, wants to get rid of like the really intelligent spy girl of the episode or whatever. It's fine. The crossword puzzle happens. The mind reading thing happens, and he adopts her, and she's like running around our house like a kid, and it's like it's okay until eventually they go out in like public, and she kind of making a scene, and it's drawing like more attention, and like all the kids doing is drawing more and more attention. So it's like again, kind of like devaluing the whole spy aspect of everything. Now, you want her to be kind of like more like a kid anyway, because it like goes with like the themes of the series that like this mission's going to be difficult because you're dragging a kid into it. But I can't help to be annoyed, as annoyed as the main character is with like all this like tomfoolery happening. Oh my god! Oh my fucking god! Great. Just a periodic bark. Okay, it's fine that the character. I can't believe I sat through the whole episode and I didn't hear a fucking bark. But then the moment I go live and I'm recording, I have to hear barking. Like, oh my god, bro. But anyway, the kid takes his like spy reader thing and like contacts the people and says his like his incognito name and says come and get me because she's bored. So I guess she's just like come and get me plot, and we get this like phony ass situation she put herself in out of boredom because he locked her in the house, as he's like having these conflicting emotions about like the kid and what he's gonna do with it. And then you get into a spy situation. They do the fake out, and then they do the standard goon in the hideaway thing. He chooses the kid's life basically over his own, completes the mission. The kid's his, and then even though nobody studied and she can't mind read anything, she all of a sudden is smart enough to pass the exams because she had a memory of her dad or whatever. So he's just like, oh, I feel so much better and blah blah blah. So, and the end of the episode, it's kind of like, it just makes me think the finale. I don't know, 44. It just makes me think the finale of the series is gonna be like family over being a spy, not both. Okay, you put one down. So so for me, it's just like an L, like overall. And since the action was like super tame, and grounded, even though they make the main character like L or Kira, where they're just unusually smart and decisive. Um, it's just kind of like a situation where I kind of feel like any problem they get in, they're gonna know how to fix it. So there's like no stakes, and I don't care about the slice of life. So what I'm left with is like this empty husk of like a series. That's how I feel about it. I'm not. I wouldn't want to come back to it and see like the 6 year old preschool thing. That seems like it's gonna be really dumb. Um, I know that there's like a hot girl eventually in the series, but I don't care about fan service, no matter how seductive they make the female spy. And because the main character, the male, is like such a wooden plank who's evolving into like a caring father, I'm just kind of sitting here like the spy aspect of him is supposed to be the trash part, and the caring father is supposed to be the part you want. So it's kind of like this situation where everything the series is rooting for is like the girl, the wholesome girl, is probably going to become the spy, and then her family, the spies, are going to become good, loving parents. Damn it! I don't know, man. It's kind of an L show. My opinions didn't change. I will say, a few times during the episode, I could feel my heart moving because I'm a very emotional guy and whatnot for the characters. But any show, yeah, any show, any anime can do that. Bleach can make me do that, and I don't even like Bleach. Like, it's not hard for an anime to kind of like set up a situation, especially when you add an orphanage and children into the mix. It's not that hard. But that doesn't mean that the show is like a W, because it makes you feel things. It's about family. Of course, it's going to make you feel things. So overall, I'd say it's an L, and I don't plan on watching more of it. I was rooting for it. I will say to you guys, I was rooting for the show and being like, okay, we've made it 3 minutes in. The dad seemed kind of cool. This is fine. And then as soon as he got to the girl, I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. This show is about like a little fucking baby girl for like for at least a third of it. And then when they go into the science stuff, it's like with the baby girl crying and stuff, it's like, oh man, dude, this is gonna be like, this is the bigger deal. This is like the underground, or like the undertone that mainly we're gonna be worried about the little girl, and then the parents are just gonna be learning lessons of being a dad and a mom, like with some spy elements added to it to keep like the show interesting. But the reality is the spy stuff is like very grounded. Like the very show that they show in the background, guys, that's like that they're parroting, right? That very show, um, like as a satire, it's just kind of like this situation where uh, it's thrown to the wayside, and it's just so sad. And I can't stress enough that I do not care about the villains, because right now there are no villains. It's like two crazy-eyed people. As soon as we get one more, I think. There we go. And they're like, that's just your objective. I don't even know what the main villains are even doing. I have no clue. All I know is it's his mission, and why would I give a shit about his mission? So it's just like, the mission with the school I don't care about. The little girl I don't care about. The dad's a fine character, but I don't really care if he succeeds or fails. And when, so that's the entire cast, because they already locked up the goon. So I'd say as a one-off thing, it's fine. As like a full ongoing show, I'm just expecting like a very cringy anime, especially with the girl. If anything, I would assume that the girl just regularly gets these spies in trouble as a formula. And while she gets them in trouble, she learns more spy stuff by watching them do spy things, like the greatest spy stuff from them, the parents, and then they become more wholesome. So they get softer and she gets tougher. If I had to guess, you guys have watched the show, so you're welcome to tell me if that's true or not without going into too many spoilers in case Ash makes me watch the whole show. That's all I really have to say about it. I'm probably gonna TLDR Ash on it, on like the stuff I told you guys, but I figured I'd talk about it now that, yeah. I think of the three, I don't think I would want to watch any of them any more than I already have. Hey, Mello. I don't think I would want to go back to Seven Deadly Sins, Agami Ga Kill, or Spy Family. I think watching Spy Family would be a waste of time. I don't like the action at Agami Ga Kill. Like, the powers just seem kind of boring. As well as, like, the art directions they do. Yeah, true. And then for Seven Deadly Sins, I feel like the better thing would be to skip until I get to all the sins, and then watch them fight the commandments, and then drop the series. But then I'm out of the loop and all this other stuff. But I don't want to sit through fucking. I don't know. They're already picking up the giant girl, and Elizabeth has already been like very like fan servicey. So I just feel like getting another girl in this situation is just gonna be like. It's just gonna be fucking really fan servicey at first. Until like the fellas show up. God damn it, bro. I bet you as soon as we're done with these 10 floors, the dogs stop barking. Is he already over there? So, if you guys are fans of any of those shows, tell me where I'm right, tell me where I'm wrong. Like, I know some of you really like those series. This map sucks. And that neighbor dog sucks. Nothing more annoying than a dog barking at nothing. I don't have the voice to shout at it. You guys are just gonna have to bear with it. And to anybody watching this on YouTube, I'm sorry. I don't know why they did this. Every single time I hear a yap out of it, if it bothers you, it bothers me 100 times more, because imagine setting up all your equipment, grouping up with the person that you're trying to do the 100 floors with. You set everything up so people can see how to do it or how you're doing it, and then yep. While you're talking about your opinions on a show, and you're trying to be careful with what you say. Also, rewatching the scene or rereading the scene where Orochi's telling everybody about the Kazuki clan and all that other stuff, when you're aware of the betrayal that's happened and everyone thinks he's a kook, is really satisfying to me. Because you know how he knows, where everybody else is skeptic, but you were probably just as skeptic even though you knew their existence. These acts might all have been under Kimimon's orders. If Firefox, Kimimon, and the Red Scabbard should appear, I, for one, would welcome it. I would enjoy the chance to show my skills with a blade. Owen died right before my eyes. The boy's body was never found. Oh, not this map again. I thought you guys would be a little bit more pushed back on the Spy Family thing, but I guess you guys don't really like the show. Oh, well, that's what the first episode's like. Dude, I think it will really tug your strings and stuff. If you're an emotional person, I actually think you could probably reevaluate yourself and whatnot and be touched. But if that kind of stuff puts you to sleep, dude, the action's not gonna wake you up. It's got a little bit of jazz in there. It has the identity of a spy show, but overall, it's more of a slice of life. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna call it a trash. I said why I wouldn't want to get into it. I probably on the record have said it's a trash show, and I stand by that honestly. But it's more of a like real criticisms. It's just not a show for me. But even still, there's a lot of slice of lives that probably do what that show does better. So my criticisms are kind of more justified. I haven't seen those. If they're really good emotionals, then just picture that. Except instead of it being about whatever yours is, it's about like a dad or a spy becoming an adoptive father, and like a lot of stuff around being a parent, and a lot of stuff about being a clueless kid with like a little bit of a spy mix in it. There's a bunch of things that I've seen that are emotional that don't make the show necessarily good. At the end of the movie Click, it gets really emotional at the end with Adam Sandler. That doesn't mean people look at the movie Click like it's like a revolutionary flick. It's like a comedy that turns very dramatic in third act. Does that make it a good movie? No. You only need 10K more of what? What a day to remember. And they seek to return the Kazuki name to power. They're all laughing. Okay, yeah, go ahead. I mean, I watched Spy X Family. I can't really see a show you guys recommending being worse. I can stomach these shows. I'm just not particularly fond of like if I liked them, I would just watch them on my own. You know, like One Piece. I'm saving that. I still haven't watched it because I haven't gone to work. I see the doctor today. I don't know what he's gonna even say. I'm gonna be like, dude, I still sound like this. I'm still congested. All this other shit, and work's gonna be livid with me. Now, keep this in mind, dude. If you make me watch one of your shows and you don't want to hear my take, it's probably not gonna be a good one, man. I'm not gonna rip it to shreds, but I'm definitely gonna be very like, okay, the I was people use channel points for this, so it's gotta be good. So if I'm like watching it and it starts to do like, I don't know how to say it. The Kami Guy Kill thing, even though I watched it, it wasn't terrible. If you told me to watch the first episode of One Piece again, I would still be like, I don't know. I think that like first episode I'd be like, it just seems kind of goofy. I don't think I'd like Kobe on first impression. Alvita being the villain, I'd probably clown on that. I'd be like, the fat lady. It's because it's Mikasa, dude. Mikasa kind of sucks. If she didn't have the payout, I would do Chainsaw Man. But that economy boost at the beginning is pretty nice. Yeah, but if you do Mikasa, you can go upgrade 3 on like speed cart by like wave 2. So as long as there's like no elementals at the beginning, actually even if there is, you can play some Mikasa. And she'll handle those. Chainsaw Man just makes these ground areas like really free at the start. It like kind of fucks your money. Yeah, see, you're doing that, but I don't want to take off my buffers or slows or none of that. Even though it'd be more handy to plop down Chainsaw Man. No, Toki, don't laugh. Oh, I missed the thing, so okay. Shut up, bitch. Great. Wow. I lost count, by the way, while talking about those shows, so I have no idea what floor we're on. But we are reaching the 40-minute mark, so I can assume that we're about to hit 50 any second now. Then I'm going back to AA, I guess. Unless you actually want to tackle more. Unless you actually want to do more, and we stamp this, but I have nothing to say. Okay. I also want to turn on some music and act like that dog never barked. Okay, I guess. I gotta stamp it though, and we gotta go back to the lobby if we do that. Double uploads are always kind of cringe too. We're getting to the harder ones after this. Do you think I'm afraid of this unfinished business from 20 years ago? Yep. I am the victor. I beat Odin. Nope. Gems. So this is probably the last one. And then we're halfway through the towers. Komurazaki. And grind your forehead on the floor. Damn. I was considering to make you my wife. Ooh. Oh, I see what you're talking about with the elements. Good thing nature's good against electric. Easy. Wait, so this is 50. I'm the daughter of a samurai. I will not disgrace myself. Do not speak of me of the warrior's ways, you glorified harlot. We are in the palace of Shogun. $17 easy carry. Yeah, I know. 17's like a must grab. I kind of want to sub out like Brooke for Chainsaw Man to help with the early game on the 3 maps. So after this, let's just go back to the lobby. I don't really want to do like the whole thing. I don't mind doing like another 10 session, I guess. But, ugh. All Stars just made these kind of cringe. Even with times 3, it takes 40 minutes. It's really shitty. All for Gohan and Stardust. Yeah, I don't. Dude, if these lunatics want to do stuff like that, that's fine. Alright, that was the first session.